For West Bengal board students, Class 8 English includes a study of The Happy Prince. The author, Oscar Wilde, was a master of social observation. He used this story to explore the friction between a city's outward prosperity and the hidden struggles of its people. As shown in this textbook illustration, the story centers on a towering statue of the Happy Prince. He is covered in fine gold leaf, with 2 bright sapphires for eyes, and a large red ruby gleaming on the hilt of his sword. The townspeople look up at the statue with admiration, captivated by its glittering exterior. This physical splendor masks a deeper question that the story will eventually reveal: whether true worth can ever be measured by what we see on the surface. A migrating swallow arrives at the feet of the golden statue, seeking a single night's shelter to escape the incoming winter. But as the bird settles in, he is struck by drops of water falling from a clear, cloudless sky. Looking up, he realizes the metal statue is weeping. The prince explains that during his life in the palace of Sanssouci, he was surrounded by high walls. He spent his days playing in the gardens, never knowing that sorrow or poverty even existed. Now, standing high above the city, he is forced to witness the misery of his people. Despite his desire to help, his leaden feet are fastened to the pedestal, leaving him unable to move. The prince has the wealth to save the city, but he lacks the mobility to deliver it. He must rely on the swallow to become his hands, acting as the physical link between his high pedestal and the struggling streets below. In this illustration from the text, the prince begins his work. He commands the swallow to pluck the ruby from his sword and deliver it to a poor seamstress who is struggling to care for her feverish son. Next, the prince notices a young playwright freezing in a cold attic. He orders the swallow to take one of his sapphire eyes to the writer so the man can buy food and finish his play. The prince then spots a little match girl crying in the snow because her matches have fallen in the gutter. He insists the swallow take his final sapphire eye to save her from her father's anger. Now completely blind, the prince has given away his ability to see his own kingdom. Moved by this level of sacrifice, the swallow chooses to stay in the freezing city, remaining by the prince's side as a lifelong companion. The prince has traded his physical sight for a clear understanding of his people's needs. Simultaneously, the swallow has traded his chance to reach the warmth of Egypt for the emotional warmth of a shared purpose. Since the prince is now blind, the swallow flies over the city and reports what he sees: the rich making merry in their beautiful houses, while beggars sit starving at the gates. The prince commands the bird to strip the fine gold leaf from his body, piece by piece, and carry it to the poor. As the gold is distributed, the children's faces grow rosy, and they laugh in the streets with bread to eat. Meanwhile, the statue on the pedestal becomes dull, gray, and weathered. The story links these two events directly. The removal of the prince's superficial, hoarded wealth is the specific action that provides life and happiness to the people below. Eventually, the freezing winter and heavy snow arrive, making it impossible for the tropical swallow to survive the cold. The swallow flies up to the prince's shoulder for a final goodbye. He kisses the prince and falls dead at the base of the statue. At that moment, a loud crack sounds from inside the statue. The prince's lead heart snaps in two from the weight of his grief. This climax suggests that true compassion requires the total surrender of oneself for the sake of another. The next morning, the mayor and town councilors arrive. Seeing the statue without its gold and jewels, they declare it useless and ugly because it no longer shines. The town melts the statue in a furnace, but the broken lead heart refuses to melt. It is tossed onto a dust heap, landing right next to the body of the dead swallow. The perspective then shifts. God commands an angel to bring him the 2 most precious things in the entire city. The angel bypasses the city's remaining treasures and selects the broken heart and the dead bird from the dust heap. The angel's choice confirms the story's final point, that the heart and the bird, which broke themselves to help others, possess a beauty far greater than any gold